What's up, guys? My name's Lance. This is the Traveling Bubby, and this is my journey into the stock market and hopefully early retirement. Let's get into this. Okay, so anybody who owns Yieldmax knows that we're in a bit of a sticky situation right now, right? With Trump back in office and all these tariff talks, I'm taking a dive in the dumpster. We're not doing very well right now. Does it suck? Absolutely. Am I hopeful? Of course. I don't think the U.S. economy is just going to fail, and I don't think these stocks are going to go to zero. I think we're in a bad spot right now, but I think we're going to slowly recover. Maybe. Uh, okay, so first things first, let's go over and see how much I've lost since, the end of December. If we go after the 3-month mark, right, $29,179. That's so much money, right? But we knew the risks. We understood that this is high risk, high reward. And, last year I started investing in around June and I made like 40, 50 grand off dividends just in that time from Yieldmax alone. So, today is going to be, a full transparency video. I'm showing everyone exactly what's going on. Like it's been a few months since I posted a video. I've been dealing with my own personal issues and sometimes it's hard for me to make videos. I don't know. I get this weird block where I just kind of shut down. But anyways, I wanted to, show you guys what's going on with my portfolio. I know people have seen that I have a lot of shares of these, these stocks, these ETFs. And let's go over what's kind of going on right now. So yeah, 3 months, we're down about 30K. It was worse than that, obviously, or it was worse than that before. But we've since started to kind of bounce back a little bit. 1 month, down 15, 1 week, up 50, up, 1.5. And then today, up 1.8, 3%, 3.48%. But what can you do, right? This is where we are. So if we go down here, my buying power, right? I've got about 6 grand that I can use to buy stocks with. I'm just leaving it in there. It's like daily I'm in and out of a margin call, right? Which definitely sucks. So right now we're at a high risk. We've got about 2 grand before our next margin call, 3.45%. We're using around 81,000 of margin, and that's all I'm ever going to use, I think. Especially with these stocks, with these high risk, high yield stocks, high risk, high reward stocks. That's all I want to put in. But, this goes to show, like, when you're up, but when you're down, you are down, my friend. And so are these stocks really worth it? Like, are these stocks a good investment? Like, does the bad outweigh any of the good, right? So let's kind of dive into what I paid for my ETFs, like, Misty, Nvidia, Coney, Tesla, and how much I've lost. So it's quite a lot. But let's get into the first one, right? Misty. Our average share price is $28.49, so, not good. And we're down $13,686. It is 31.45% of our portfolio. But I still believe in Bitcoin for the long term. I still believe in, Bitcoin for being the best cryptocurrency. And I think at some point it's going to bounce back. So right now we're kind of in the dumps. I don't think we're always going to be here for Misty. Right? Tesla is another story, and we'll talk about that in a second. All right, for Yieldmax, 2,000 shares. It's at 14.15. It's funny. I was watching videos. I think it's a guy who bought all the weekly funds. The younger kid who bought all the weekly funds. I forgot his channel name, and he was debating on whether he should buy more Yieldmax because he wasn't sure when it would ever drop below $18. Right. I was with him. It might never drop below $18. Okay, so we're at $14.50 right now with Yieldmax. Our average share cost is $16.89. We have 2,000 shares. It is 20.55% of our portfolio, and we are down about $5,485. I mean, compared to my other stocks, that's not terrible. It's not as bad, Dividends. All right, Nvidia. Here we go. Nvidia. Nvidia has done better than I thought. Nvidia has always been kind of solid, for me at least, from what I've seen. So our average share price of Nvidia is $22.66. Market value is $26,000 for these stocks, and we're down about $7,954. About tells me exactly what we're down. So we're down about 8 grand, and this is 18.91% of our portfolio. All right, so QDTE, we now have 400 shares. So the goal, my goal, technically, I've been reaching my goals. Even though we're in the dumpster right now, I've been technically hitting my round hill marks, right? The whole stock market is kind of, dropped, and I still have $6,600 of buying power with 400 shares. So, on Monday morning, I'm probably going to buy another 150 shares. That's the goal, and I'm going to stick with it. Let's dive into QDTE. So our average share cost is $38.92. It's at $35.85 on Friday, March 21st at 9 p.m. We're only down $1,200. Hey, Round Hill. All right. Cool. Super cool. Coney and Tesla. Oof. Like Coney, I'm not so much worried about because I still believe in Bitcoin for the future. I think Coinbase is still going to eventually climb back up and do really well. But let's look at how much money we've lost with Coney, or how much money we're down. I'm not selling shit, by the way. I'm not selling nothing. Okay? People freak out and they dip out. This is going to go to zero, or it's going to recover. Not zero, but like it's going to reverse split, right? Which then I'll fold. Then I'll get out. But until it reverse splits, I'm not selling nothing. Okay? I'm not taking those losses if I don't have to. I'm hoping Coney comes back, right? At least the $15 and just chill there, whatever. All right, so our average share price is $17.93. It is 9.33% of our portfolio. We have 1,500 shares. The market value for this position is $12,840. And our total return, we're down $14,000 with Coney. Thanks a lot, Coney. Reminds me of the thanks, Obama. So thanks, Coney. But I'm not too worried. The only stock I am really worried about is Tesla, right? So Tesla. Elon is now painted as a supervillain, or like he's getting a lot of heat right now for being a weirdo in the government. Like, I still like Elon Musk, right? I still like him a lot. Do I think he's a fucking weirdo? Do I think he's like touched, right? He's a genius, so a lot of the geniuses are touched, like they got that Rain Man shit going on. So when he did his fucking "my heart goes out to you" shit, right, and it looked like a Hitler salute, that's, as soon as I saw it, I was like, fuck. You damn weirdo. Why did you have to do that? I don't think he's a Nazi, but also it's not helping out. It's not, right? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. And then Tesla cars and dealerships and charging stations are getting lit on fire. It's fucking wild to me. Right? Tesla employs 70,000 Americans. Like, if Tesla goes, like that's a big hit for America, right? I don't know. Maybe not. But I did see on the news today that Trump is saying that they're going to be labeled as terrorists. They're going to go to Guantanamo Bay. Oh my God. Imagine being a dumb kid lighting a Tesla on fire and you go to fucking Guantanamo. Technically, I think last time I Googled what a terrorist was, right? Someone who incites violence or whatever, aggression for political or religious beliefs. And this is technically that, right? When it comes to political. So we're in a crazy spot right now, man. Guys, the country's in a wild spot. Yeah, let's look at Tesla. Okay, so our average share price is $15.13. It is now at $8, almost half of the value. Our entire position with Tesla is $12,000, $12,105. Our total return is negative $10,586, and it is 8.79% of our portfolio. Right? So, what do we do? Right? What do we do here? I'm consistently adding money because I believe the stock market is the end all be all, right? I think it is the way for financial freedom. And, this high risk, high reward stuff, kind of sucks right now because we're taking our lumps and, it's not good. But as long as we slowly start to climb back up, I think we're going to be okay. But every time that man says the word tariff, I feel like I lose $5,000. Every time he says the word, I understand why they're in place. I get it. But it still, kind of sucks. Kind of sucks for us. That's pretty much all the stuff from, just the face value of my Robinhood account, what I kind of wanted to go over. But let's go into what we made for the month of January and February, shall we? Not that, I mean, we're down 30 grand, so I mean, dividends. But let's look into it. All right, here we go. Okay, so November, we made $11,079. December, it was $12,370. January, let's go over this. All right, so on the 6th, we got paid from NVIDIA and Yieldmax. NVIDIA with 1,500 shares paid out 89 cents, so we got $13.47. And then with Yieldmax, it paid out 18 cents. With 750 shares, we got $61.12. On January the 10th, we got paid from Coney. We had 1,500 shares, and it paid 83 cents, so we got $12.50. From Yieldmax, we had 950 shares, and it paid 13 cents. We got $132.53. So if you notice, right, like I had a goal, 2,000 shares of Misty, 2,000 shares of Yieldmax, 1,500 of NVIDIA, Coney, and Tesla. That's what I wanted to, because I wanted at least $1,000 a month to just transfer over into other stocks, right? I wanted to build this machine to feed me money into other stocks. And right now it's looking like that's kind of a bad idea, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue doing this. I have a goal. I've got a one-track mind just to flood this market with money. And I'm going to continue doing that until, one of my stocks makes it big. I'm going to continue to diversify eventually. But right now, we're sticking with Round Hill. We're just going to keep pumping money into these 3 or 4 stocks from Round Hill that I like. And we'll go from there. Okay, so moving on. For Misty, January 17th, we have 2,000 shares. It paid out $2.28. And so that gave us $4,508. That same week, Yieldmax, we're up to 1,200 shares now. I paid out 11 cents, so we got $134.16. Moving on to the next week, that's January 24th. It's Tesla. We have 1,500 shares. It paid out 71 cents, so we got $1,075. Yieldmax, 1,700 shares, paid out 17 cents, so that was $292. So NVIDIA again, because we got paid out 5 times in January, because 31 days. On the 31st, NVIDIA paid again. 1,500 shares. This time I paid out 82 cents, which is $1,244 I got. And then Yieldmax, we finally reached our goal with 2,000 shares. It paid out 14 cents for a total of $293.80. So January total was $10,390. Not that it really freaking matters, man. Okay, all right. For February, we got paid 4 times. It's a shorter month, so we only received 4 payments. All right, so starting on the 7th of February, we got paid from Coney with our 1,500 shares. They paid out $1.05. We received $15.70. Yieldmax, 2,000 shares. They paid out 19 cents. We received $3.88. Now we have QDTE. We have finally started at the end of January. Like I said, I was going to be buying Round Hill, and I started. And I'm going to continue, and I'm just going to see this through, man. Either I'm going to make it or I'm not. Like, either this is a dumb way to just put money in, or I'm going to make it. Either way, I'm going to continue doing this. All right, so QDTE, at this point, on the 7th of February, we bought sometime that week before, right? We have 45 shares. They paid out 23 cents, which was $10.41. Next week, Misty. Valentine's Day, I think. We have 2,000 shares of it. They paid out $2.02, and that is $4,043. People keep saying, "Oh, here comes Yieldmax lowering their dividends. They're going to be lowering it, right?" And of course, right? You took a big hit. You're not going to pay out the same amount of money, right? It's just kind of common sense, and I don't want them to, right? I don't want them to keep paying out $4 and Misty goes to $10 or whatever. I wanted to pay out a little bit less and recover the NAV, right? Get to $30 and then start hammering out some more money or whatever. I don't know. That's just what I would like to see. Okay, so Yieldmax, 2,000 shares on the 14th of February. They paid out 15 cents, so $300.60. QDTE, we're up to 100 shares now. They paid out 25 cents, so I got $25. The math is mathing. On the 21st, Tesla paid us a 50-cent payout. A 57-cent payout, right? And Tesla got murdered, so I'm not mad at it. $868.95. Yieldmax paid out 18 cents, which is $370. So I met my $1,000 goal. And then QDTE, I had 200 shares at this time, so they paid out 24 cents, which is $49.25. The final week of February, NVIDIA paid out $1.61, which was $2,417 with 1,500 shares. Yieldmax paid 13 cents with 2,000 shares. That was $265. QDTE, I have 250 shares at this point. They paid out 25 cents, and that was $64.89. Right. So QDTE is, Round Hill in general is pretty solid, in my opinion. And that's why I'm diversifying all this money into Round Hill accounts. Eventually, I'm going to go on to RDTE and XDTE and maybe even YBTC. But I do like these funds. And then after that, it'll go into Rec shares or maybe Neos funds. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen then, right? But for the total of February, we made $10,274. I finally got my taxes done this past Wednesday. So last year in April, for the whole month, I was pretty much in Thailand, so I didn't get a chance to file them last year. But my new tax guy said, it wasn't a big deal for whatever reason. I forgot what he said, but I said, okay, cool. Anyways, so I printed out all my documents, all my write-offs, and my Robinhood stuff. So I explained to him, what my stocks were, what I was investing in, high yield, right? Losing this much money, like if I have to pay taxes, like if I made 60 grand last year, which I've obviously lost most of that now with this dip, right? If I have to pay taxes on that, that's really going to be a big hurt for me. It's going to suck. It's not going to discourage me. I'm still on this journey. I'm still going to continue to do it. But right, like on paper, you make 60 grand, and then that January you lose like 30 grand. Like, we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what's going on with my taxes, and I'll let you guys know what I have to pay. I'll be very transparent about it. So I have nothing to hide. I'm a pretty simple guy. I think that's why some of y'all follow me, because you see that I'm actually an average investor. I was a wedding filmmaker for a long time until I just got burnt out on creativity, being creative every single day. Like, I don't know how artists do it. I really don't. Like, I can be creative, but be doing it every single day, coming up with something new and inventive that would wow people, it was difficult for me. And so I wanted a job I could just kind of do mindlessly. And that's not to say that, bartending or beer tasting, whatever I'm doing, is mindless, but it's easy enough to where I can be happy and still make a decent amount of money, like, I don't know what, being an entrepreneur, I was by myself a lot, like working constantly, and I made a good chunk of money, but what cost, it's getting fatter. I wasn't speaking to anybody. I was in this dungeon, right? There's cool lights on in the background now because I'm making this video, but it's usually dark as hell, which is my own fault. But anyways, I had to make a change. Back to this. All right. So yeah, so that's where we're at right now. Kind of a scary position to be in, but I'm not selling. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to divert. Either I'm going to get fucked or I'm going to make a lot of money. So, you're going to be able to see it here. But yeah, this is where we're at with our shares and our portfolio. And sure, we're at high risk right now. I think if it recovers a little bit, I get to that 10 to 20 grand buffer like I had before, I think we'll be okay. But, we'll see. Hopefully by my birthday, mid-June, this will at least have recovered a little bit more, and, we'll be back on track. But nothing's changed besides the amount of money we lost. People, I don't know, people that invest for a long time, or I don't know, whoever it is, doesn't like Yieldmax, right? They don't like these high yield funds, and they make fun of us, the high yield dividend warriors. And as of right now, right, they're pretty much right. But that's as of right now. I'm hopeful that this will recover, and they're going to eat their words, and then all of our dividends are going to pay off. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Right? It's a fugazi, it's a fugazi, it's a whoosy, it's a whatsy. No one really knows what's going to happen. You could predict certain things, but who knows? I just hope Trump stops saying the word tariff. Like, do whatever you want, just quit saying it. Like, quit saying the word on television. I feel like as soon as he does it, the market just freaks out. But yeah, I still believe in Bitcoin. I still believe in these high yield dividends, and I'm going to continue to put money into this stuff, man. I'm going to continue because unless one of these unless one of these ETFs reverse splits and it just stays in the dumps until June, then I might reconsider putting out, put it into round hill, and just instead of having a 3 to 4 year plan, ends up being a 8 to 10 year plan. Right? That's going to suck for me. I won't get to retire as early and live my dream of traveling the world or Asia where it's cheap. That would suck. But I still live with my mother. I still don't drink or party. I make about $1,200 a week. 200 of that gets saved for utilities or whatever, food, anything, shoes, anything I need. I'm not a shoe guy. I mean, like running shoes. I like running shoes. And then the rest goes into the stock market, right? I'm gonna keep feeding this beast until I'm rich. I'm gonna continue to pull money into this, and I've got to relook now at how much I put into Robinhood. I think it's around 40 grand now. Before this dumpster fire, it was about $35,000 that I put in, and the rest I was just making from Yieldmax. And I was super stoked about that. So right now it looks like I've only up a little bit. I'm still technically up. I made more money than I have put into Robinhood, so I'm technically still up. Overall, big picture, right? Guys love to say that, but overall, right? We're up. That's the deal, gentlemen. I wish that anybody who has Yieldmax, right, is actively managing their account, figuring out how to stay safe and be smart about this stuff. But again, we understood the risks going into this. And I hope it bounces back. I hope it recovers. Look, already, right? Like being in a margin call, like I was at $6,600 on buying power. Now it's gone up by $100. I don't know how this works, right? There's all kinds of guys in there. I'm an average investor. I'm just an average guy. And they go over like Greek letters and start spouting off shit I have no clue about. I'm like, you're not an average investor. Or maybe they are. Maybe I'm just that retarded. Maybe I'm just that normal of a guy, and I'm so new to this that, those things are what an average investor should know about. I don't know. I'm still studying, but I've been going through my own personal stuff the past few months. Nothing crazy, just a little internal turmoil that I have figured out. Anyways, you guys are beautiful and amazing, and keep investing. If I could do it, an idiot like me, you can do it. Okay? So hopefully I'm not going to eat my words here and go to zero, but I think it'll turn around, I think cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is going to continue to rise, and my portfolio, a lot of the big stuff is tied to it. County and Misty. Yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys got to see my journey again, and hopefully you guys can course correct for your journey on my mistakes. My name is Lance. Y'all have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.